Tired of setting up Revit projects from scratch? In this video, you'll learn how to create your own custom Revit template that will save you hours on every project. Welcome to ArchViz Ascent. Greetings, dear friends, and welcome to the first section of Revit software tutorial. In this session, I intend to explain the process of template creation and utilization. Why do we need to create a template? If we don't create a template, can't we work with Revit? First, I'll answer the second question. No, it's not a problem. We can start working with Revit without creating a custom template. However, creating a personalized template makes the modeling process faster and easier. For example, if I prefer to use a specific type of tag for windows or a different style for room tags than Revit's default, I can create a template for myself. Then, for future projects, I can use that same template. You might want specific text styles, custom level symbols, measurement units, or particular doors, windows, or even furniture for all your projects to speed up your work. You can customize wall and floor layers, unique profiles, and essentially all the specific settings you have in mind, and save them within a personalized template. You don't need to create everything at once. Each time you develop a new custom element, you can simply add it to your template. For instance, today, we'll build the measurement unit settings and text styles into our template. In upcoming tutorials, we'll learn how to create other sections. By the way, we'll be creating this template in Revit 2023, 2024, and 2025. The core process remains the same. Only the interface in Revit 2024 and later has undergone minor visual changes. Finally, I'll give you a general overview of the Revit user interface to familiarize you with it. I promise you'll fall in love with modeling in Revit. Upon launching Revit, the first thing we encounter is this page. This section pertains to the model where we can open a file we've previously worked on or create a new one. This part is related to families, the creation and use of which I will explain in future sessions. This is a sample provided by Revit itself, but we won't be working with it at the moment. I want to create a new project, so I click on New. From here, I can select a template. I work with metric units, and we're currently learning Revit architecture, so I choose the metric architectural template. If I create my own template, I can place it here for future use. If I close this window, it returns to the main page. I'm clicking on the arrow. From File, I can create a new project, family, or conceptual mass, which I will explain later. If I open a new project from here, it will again ask me to specify a template. Whenever we open a new project, the first task is to set the drawing unit. I'm pressing U and N on the keyboard. I click on length settings and set my unit to meters with 2 decimal places. And I want to display the meter symbol. If this checkbox is activated, it removes any extra zeros after the decimal point, which I don't want. For example, when I measure dimensions, it displays them up to 2 decimal places as per my settings. I'm pressing U and N on my keyboard and remove the meter symbol. Let's see what happens. Activating this checkbox removes extra zeros. As you can see, they're gone. However, I prefer the original setting. Here we have the project browser window where we can access plans, ceilings, elevations, as well as tables and sheets that will work on them within detail later. I open the north view. Look, we have 2 levels here. This side also shows us 2 floors. Adding another level also adds another floor and floor plan view. In another tutorial, I've explained in detail how to create levels and adjust their settings. I will put the link in the description below. From file options and file locations, we can adjust template settings. For instance, I can move metric architectural template up to be the topmost option using this method. Now when I open a new project, you'll see it's become the first option. The first thing that should be done when opening a new project is setting up units. Pressing U and N on my keyboard allows me to set my length unit to meters with 2 decimal places. Any other settings that are made or any other customizations that are done can be saved as a template, but these settings don't have to be redone for every project. Now I want to save a template that's set up for meter units. File, Save as Template. In Options, you can specify how many backups you want. In my case, it's 1. From File, I select Options. In the File Location section, we can eliminate the templates we don't want or incorporate a new template. I click on Add and choose the template I created. Now I move it to the top. Now I intend to open a new file. The template has arrived as the third option. I desired it to be the first, so I go to Option and move it. See, now that when I open a new project, the template I created is the prime option. This template brings us all the settings we have previously executed in it, which in this case can be a length unit setting. For instance, in North View, I append several levels. Or alter the names of the levels. See, they transform together in both places. I didn't draw anything, just executed configurations. From File, Save as in Select the template. I prefer to save on the previous one. Well, I reopened the template. Observe, it brought our configurations. Should we choose to work with Revit 2024? It operates similarly to Revit 2023. Upon clicking New, a window appears prompting me to select the metric multidiscipline option, as I will be working with metric units. However, should I have a pre-existing template for my work, I could simply click Browse and load it from there. Given that I do not possess a custom template at this moment, I will proceed with the metric multidiscipline option. On the right side of the interface, you'll observe that various disciplines, architectural, structural, and MEF, are pre-arranged, expanding the architectural section, for instance. Expanding the architectural section, for instance, reveals 2 floor plans, a site plan, ceiling plans, and elevations furthermore. Several sheets have already been created for these and other disciplines. A crucial point to note in Revit 2024 and later versions is the necessity of assigning a discipline to each new view you create. For example, when generating a 3D view, you must navigate to the discipline settings and designate it as architectural for it to appear under the architectural section. The same principle applies to all other disciplines. Another distinction encountered in Revit 2024 and subsequent versions is the introduction of scope boxes, which allow us to manage the drawing area and canvas size. Observe how I have just adjusted the page dimensions. From the visibility settings, we can deselect the scope box to remove it, and similarly reintroduce it to the drawing canvas at any time through the same path. Revit 2025 maintains precise parity with Revit 2024 in these aspects, exhibiting no substantial differences. Now, let us proceed to familiarize ourselves with the remaining functionalities. There are other settings. Suppose I create a specific font model with a specific color so that I don't execute these things again later. I save it in the template. I select the text to edit type, duplicate it so that I don't alter its default settings. I change its color to red and modify its size. Here we possess two significant windows, and we can adjust their place wherever we are comfortable in such a way that we take from above and drag. If for any reason Windows close and, for example, I want to draw a wall, I no longer have access to its settings. So from View, User Interface, I tick the windows that I want. Properties and Project Browser. We have learned the initial settings for the future session. I will teach you how to draw levels and related settings to elevation. Congratulations! You've now taken the first step towards creating your own personalized template in Revit. This is just the beginning of our journey. As you've seen, having a custom template can make your modeling process so much faster and easier. In our upcoming tutorials, we'll dive into other sections of the template and learn how to add more advanced settings to make Revit a truly custom tool just for you. If this tutorial was helpful and you're ready to take your Revit skills to the next level, please hit that like button and subscribe to the ArchViz Ascent channel. Ask me any questions in the comments below and let me know what you'd like to see in a future tutorial. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. I'll see you in the next video.